Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Street Cars. As you can see behind me, we have a 67 Chevy C10 that we're about to start on for a customer. We're going to be doing an LS swap on it, but pretty soon we're going to run his engine on the run stand. Well, we already ran it, but I'm going to put it in the video. And then we're going to start tearing this motor out of it and the transmission that's in it. Then we're going to get all this cleaned up in this video and start wire wheeling and cleaning some of the bottom of the truck. And then
the fuel tank.
Fuel tank right there. But overall it is a pretty rust-free truck. I mean, it doesn't have any, it's got a lot of surface rust, but no real bad rust spots. Battery leak.
Pretty typical for these trucks, so.
But this truck is pretty much a barn find. The guy had it in a barn for 20 plus years. The guy, a little bit of his grandfather left it to him, and he's ready to go ahead and put an LS motor in it and get it running. Lower it. But this truck is basically, it's going to be a complete build. But right now it's got an inline 6 in it. And we're about to pull it out. But if anybody wants to buy this motor, it'll probably be for sale. I don't know if anybody buys these anymore, but it's a little deal to the next part. But that's his engine right there. That's the homemade LS engine run stand we built. And yep, that'll be next in the video. But we're about to get on it. got the drive shaft out of the truck. Got part of the exhaust off. Put the truck up on jack stands so we can spin the tires while we're trying to get the jack stand or the drive shaft out so we could turn it. The drive shaft's out of the truck. Next, we gotta undo the bolts in the transmission, and then we're gonna lift the motor and transmission both out of the truck. Gotta unbolt the transmission and undo these motor mounts. We should be able to lift this motor out. But this truck has very little wiring on it, so it's not hard to take out really. It is kind of a little bit ugly. What do you think about it, Dad? It's no good?
No good.
No good. It's crazy. The radio still works?
Your video on it?
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna check and see if the headlights work real quick. They work? That's crazy. Oh, it tries. Do it again? Nah. It's crazy. Truck's been sitting for 30 plus years. The headlights, the radio still work. We got the radiator out of his truck. Pretty much everything besides this alternator off the motor. And then once we
Probably probably need to take this wire off.
yeah, you just gotta take that wire off. That's what I meant. And then we'll be ready to pull his motor and transmission out. All right, we got the engine hoist hooked up. About to lift the motor and transmission out. All right, we got the motor out of the truck. Motor, transmission, got pulled out. Next, we're gonna be getting everything wire wheeled and cleaned up and painted. We might sandblast it, we might wire wheel it. We're still trying to figure that out. But we gotta wire wheel all this underneath the truck. Frame, everything. We need to get the bed off the truck. But we got a lot to do. Probably go ahead and wire wheel it, clean it up in this video. And the next video, we'll be getting the motor built and or go through the motor and get it ready to put in the truck. Huh?
Next video is going to be suspension.
Yeah.
Like taking all these fenders and shit out and cleaning all this shit and then starting changing out all the brakes and spindles and springs and
We got all right, now we're about to get ready to clean all this up.
Pull the whole front end off the truck, cord to cord, bumper fenders, grill. We're gonna try to take it in one piece. The fenders.
And we'll get it cleaned up and then put it back on the truck.
We gotta pull all that off so we can access all of the frame rails, top and bottom and sides and everything to clean them and get all the rust off so that we can prime them and get them painted.
But once we get it all taken apart, we'll go ahead and get a video and then we'll get it cleaned up. We'll take a before and after video. That way you can see the difference when we clean it. And then we'll go ahead and put everything back together on the truck. All right, guys, we got the front clip off the truck, sitting right over here. Our next step is going to be trying to see what he wants to do in terms of cleaning it, how much he wants to, pretty much just how he wants us to do it. But once we get the okay on what we need to do, we're gonna get started on it. But we got a lot of wire wheeling in our future, or sand blasting.
We're gonna strip
A lot of blasting.
Strip everything off the frame and go from scratch.
But we got some sand blasting in our future. A lot of cleaning stuff up, but
Let's get some wire wheels and start hitting some of this stuff.
trying to get some of the rust
See it,
off.
what it's gonna look like.
Yeah. Right now we're pressure washing a bunch of the grease and stuff off of it. Once we get done doing that, we'll let customers that wants this truck built look at it, and then we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning the frame up, getting the rust off of it, and we'll get it ready to paint or clear coat, depending on how the customer wants to do it. But we had to break the new pressure washer out. Alright, we're done pressure washing it. We're gonna wait on some of the stuff to dry a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and get the, probably wire wheel it a tad bit to get some of the rust off of it. Then we might sandblast it later. But we're gonna let him come by and check his truck out real quick before we do anything else. Let him kind of tell us what he wants. But next up, we'll be cleaning all this up. Alright. Dad got the bed off the C10. Got the frame back here cleaned up a little bit. We still got a little bit to do on it, but
Still got a lot to do.
yeah, still got a lot to do, but getting there. We got the bed outside. It's sitting on a cart thingy. Ooh. He's got some rough tires.
These over there?
I think those are. But there's the bed. As you can see, we've done quite a bit of wire wheeling on this thing. Did a bit of cleaning the frame up and everything. Quite a bit left to go. We already got a little bit of the front painted. But we still gotta clean up all this, but this is kind of what we want the frame to look like once we're done. Paint it with some black paint, make it look nice. But still got quite a bit to do back here, and then we're gonna finish up there. Then we'll probably get under the cab, do it. But all the rust on this thing is pretty much just surface rust that we can knock off. This C10 is a pretty good like starting deal. It's pretty hard to find these trucks get this little rust as this one has. Alright, we got the C10 up on the lift. That way it's a little bit easier to get to some of the stuff. We're about to start wire wheeling underneath the cab of the truck. But still got a little bit to do up here, a little bit to do back here. We got a lot to do. But once we're done wire wheeling everything, we'll show y'all the after. We already got a video of it before. This is before on the underneath the cab. Pretty rusty, pretty dirty, but we're gonna get it wire wheeled and then we'll get a video of it. Dad ended up getting the frame and everything painted on the back while we had a car meet or car show deal at Freddy's tonight, but he ended up getting back before us and getting this frame painted and everything that we were wire wheeling earlier. Looks real good. Alright, now we got the truck out in the sun. We're gonna let this cure a little bit. Just got a black epoxy on it. And next we're gonna be dropping the rear end out and go ahead and get it cleaned up. And then
the rear end, the trailing arm.
Yeah. Then eventually we're gonna take the rear end and get some
Gears and a posi unit put in it.
But let this cure and then we'll get to that. We got the rear end out of the truck. Now we're just trying to get these bars off, and then from there we're going to clean up the rear end, clean up these bars, clean up these frames, pretty much everything on it. And we're going to get ready to go back in, go ahead and put his rear end and everything back in. Alright, Dad's got some oven cleaner sprayed on it to get all the grease and stuff off of it. We sprayed some on it last night and got a bunch of it off, but we're one more time. And then go ahead and clean it off. Get the rear end cleaned up and go ahead and paint it. And while we were waiting on that, went in and got a bunch of this under here cleaned up. We still got a little bit to clean, but Dad went in and put some primer and stuff on what we had cleaned. But once we get completely done with this, I'll show a before and after video on it. Come a long way. And then we're going to start cleaning up the front, go ahead and start taking it apart and putting the new parts on it. Alright, so we got the oven cleaner washed off. We got a little bit of wire wheeling to do on this rear end, but once we get it wire wheeled and painted, it should look pretty good. We got the primer put on the other one of those. It's hanging right there. We're about to do this one too, and then we'll go ahead and paint both of these. And we should be pretty much ready to go ahead and put the rear end back in the truck. We got the rear end primered and Dad's painting it now. We got these painted. We didn't clean these up, so we're going to replace them. But we painted the parts we're going to use. So I painted under the truck a little way up to what we've cleaned up so far. But we got a little bit more to clean up on the front. Then we'll go ahead and get it painted too. Alright, we got all the A-arms off.
Springs, A-arms, tie rod, spindles, all that stuff disconnected.
We got everything on the front part. We're going to start cleaning it up, get it nice like we got everything else. And then once we're done with that, we'll show the before and after video, the whole frame on the truck. Probably go ahead and pull the cab, clean it all up.
Cab holds some bushings, we can lift it up, put it back down, and then bushings, and jack it up and swap it later. That way we can go ahead and finish all the frame work.
But we'll go ahead and get it all cleaned up.
We're gonna take this off too. We're gonna put some plates over it, smooth the firewall on it.
But we got all that to do. We're gonna go ahead and get it done, and then finish out the video by showing a before and after picture of the frame and everything. Alright, we got that middle piece out. Go ahead and get it wire wheeled and cleaned up, and then we're gonna clean this.
We might blast that middle piece.
Probably sandblast this middle piece. But we're gonna go ahead and get all this cleaned up, and then we'll get a video of it once we get it painted and everything. Alright, we got most of it primered. We're gonna wait for the primer to dry. And then we're gonna hit it with some paint. And should be ready. And then we're gonna go ahead and take the cab off and then clean up under it. But we might do that in between videos. I don't know if I'm gonna add it into this one or not.
These are the tubular control arms for the 67 C10 truck. We're gonna go with a tubular arm. We're gonna go ahead and change ball joints and drill some grease zerks so they're greasable. So we got all the new grease zerks in, and just finished up pressing in some Moog problem solver ball joints, and got rid of the cheap old ball joints that come in these A-arms. That's the new Moog problem solver ball joints pressed in. Both A-arms with the grease zerks now. Drilled, threaded the holes, and installed grease zerks on the bushings, and changed out the ball joint. That's the new ball joint we pressed into the tubular A-arm for the 67 C10. Alright, so we got the upper and lower A-arms on. All the Moog ball joints, grease zerks in them. Uppers, lowers, tie rod ends. Use the Moog tie rod ends with pearl forged adjuster sleeves. Both sides.
Yeah. Alright, we got all the spindles and everything on the front. Springs. We got the first rotor on. We got the other one on the other side. We got to put the cap on it though. Alright, we got his front brake caliper on. We got to do the other side still. But we're about to put the tire on this side. We got all the bolts and everything torqued. Got both the front tires back on. Later on, we're gonna have to go back and put the calipers back on. He's got to get some bigger wheels though. But got all this together. What do you got to say to Clerk Brian, Dad?
You gotta get some bigger wheels.
Gotta get some bigger wheels.
Big boy wheels.
Some big boy wheels. But next we're gonna be putting the rear end in. Probably not gonna get to it tonight, but tomorrow we're gonna be going to Autorama, so we're gonna get a video of that. That'll probably be a future video. And this done.
See the power steering box on it too?
Yeah, we got that
Power steering conversion.
power steering conversion box on there.
Square body. That's a square body box.
Yeah, this one's for like a 80, what did you say, like an 82 to
I think that's a 70 something bottle box.
70 something C10. If you want to convert these trucks to power steering, all you got to do is put a power steering box out of a square body truck in it.
And if you get a later square body truck box like an 86, you can use the power steering lines from like an 86 square body and they'll connect right to the LS power steering pump.
But got all this done. Last part of this video is going to be us putting the rear end in it. And then I might clean under the cab a little bit. Go ahead and get that cleaned up. Got there, Dad?
It's the shock mount plates.
Got the rear end ready to pretty much go in. About to go ahead and put it in the truck. Got those, the new bushings in there. On those. Got the rear end under the truck. Springs and everything. U-bolts in it. We're gonna go ahead and put the back tires on it. We got the cab bolts off. Now we're about to lift the cab off the truck so we can clean under it and clean the bottom of the cab. But these trucks have 4 bolts that bolt the cab on. We got the cab off the truck. We got the frame completely painted. Dad's patching a little, he's getting a little spot that we missed. But next we're gonna drop the cab back on the truck. Frame looks really good. Alright, we got the underside of the cab cleaned and coated. We're about to set it back on the frame. In the next video, we're going to be setting the cab back on the frame, doing the rear disc brake conversion. We're going to be running all our brake lines. And we should get to the point where we are setting the motor in possibly. Motor, transmission, all that stuff. And then we'll be putting the bed and the front fenders and everything back on. We got a lot done in this video. Should have the next video of the truck out pretty soon. And then we got a couple more videos coming up. We got the part 2 on this 68 Camaro. And then we got a video from Autorama. And we got the couple of videos coming up with this truck. But we're in this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And we'll see y'all guys in the next one.